This morning I'm going to do a quick video for our PEI property buyers. I'm going to go over how to use our software called Collaboration Center, which is how we as realtors in Prince Edward Island are able to share listings with our clients without just sending cut sheets through email as attachments. This is a much more interactive software. So it'll be quick and it'll be easy, and hopefully if you're looking to buy in PEI, it'll be helpful to you. So what I've done is I've set myself up as a client here, used a separate email so that it's as close to accurate in what you'll be seeing as possible. So you should get an email from this program called Paragon. If you didn't and your realtor, myself, said that they set you up, then just check your spam. But we'll go into this email here. It's all going to look pretty much the same when you receive this. First, it's going to say, let's collaborate. Your agent has created a search for you. That means that your agent found certain listings that match your criteria and they'd like to share them with you. So get started. I usually include a little explanation to my clients with what I set up for them, and that way they can look at it and then check and let me know if they want any changes. So, hey Zach, I did a search for you that includes income properties, central PEI, under 550K. So right now there's 41 listings matching your criteria, but I can change that search to include certain bedrooms, certain bathrooms, certain square footage, separate locations, etc. Let's scroll back up to the top and hit Get Started. One of the overwhelming things about buying a house is that there are a ton of things coming on the market, especially if you're buying in a busy season like the spring or the fall. And so the great thing about Collaboration Center is you can make sure that you're only looking at things once, and if you've decided, hey, that house isn't for me, then you can, give it a thumbs down and then say, I won't look at those again. And for the ones that maybe you would check out, or maybe they're not just quite the right price yet, you can save those for later too. So when you log in, this is your, I guess we call it landing page. This is where you start off and it gives you a summary. It's also nice because it shows which ones have open houses, so you can take a quick peek and maybe plan your Saturday or your Sunday around seeing a few of these. So let's actually get into the details. So here's my 41 listings that match my criteria, and I can click on them, and I can either scroll through like this and just, buy the pictures, say, that's not for me, or Lakeside, no, that's not for me, Charlottetown, yeah, I like that. And you can start to organize them. So you can organize them by selecting multiple different listings, and then you can compare them together. So you can see the price, you can see the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the square footage. That's a great one if you're kind of narrowing down to maybe your top 5 or something and you want to look at them. Another great thing, still with these 3 selected, is you can share them. So you could share them to a spouse, to a family member. You could send them to your realtor. Hey, Zach, I really like these 3. I want to set up showings. You can get directions for them. And then you can do like a mass categorization. So you could favorite all 3 of those or reject all 3 or say, yeah, maybe. So let's unselect those 3 and just go into one of these specifically. We'll go into 8 Greenwood. Once you're in here, you can see you'll get a great look at all the photos, and if you click in, you can see them in a larger view. It's a great way to do it. You'll see all the property data just like you would on Realtor.ca. So if I go back up here, there's a couple really great tools, like leave a comment. So if you and a spouse were sharing an email address or sharing a Collaboration Center link, then you could leave a comment, say, hey, what do you think about this one? Something like that. Which actually, that's a really good point. As a client, I can set you up, I can set spouses up on the same Collaboration Center just with separate email addresses, or I can set them up on 2 different ones so they can both kind of go through and favorite and mark as some as maybes, rejections, etc., all on their own, and then compare later. So the last thing I'll go through is just this. Once you see 1 or 2 that you like or that you want to view, it's a great way to share them with your realtor to get their opinion want these guys. The last one I'll go through is tags, which can be really helpful. Say there was a whole bunch of ranchers that you really liked. What you can do is create a tag called ranchers. Tag was successful. Okay, so now 5 Gates Drive isn't a rancher, but let's pretend that it was, and I wanted to do 633 Queen as well. That's an imaginary rancher. 32 Popular, probably a real rancher. So say you wanted to compare, all your ranchers with all your 2-story homes or something like that. You can tag them as different things and then just go up here and say, hey, I want to just look through all my rancher categorized houses. So ranchers in here. Obviously you can create, lots of tags, whatever you want. And then lastly, there's a few other things in here that can be useful. You can send things to your agent, email, phone. You can get recent sales. You can look at all your comments. I won't go through all these, but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. So again, this is a collaboration center. This is a way that realtors share their listings with their clients, and I think it's just a great way to organize things. So you're not looking at the same listings over and over again, especially if it's a joint decision like spouses or family members. This can be a really good way to share everything and keep track and keep organized, and also keep your realtor in the loop. Once you go through and you start playing with things, start rejecting, saving some for later, and then adding your favorites, you'll see your categorized listings down here will just automatically populate. So that's it for this morning. That was a quick little tutorial on Collaboration Center. I think it's a great software, and it's really easy to use as realtors and as clients. So I would recommend using it. And if you have any problems or have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.